The underwater panther, or Mishipeshu as it is more commonly known, from its Ojibwe name, is considered to be one of the most powerful and important of the many water beings of the indigenous people of the northeastern woodlands and the Great Lakes region. This is especially true for the Anishinaabe. The name Mishipeshu translates to the great lynx, which has giant paws and the head of a felid, but is covered in large scales, and has dagger-like rides down its back and down its tail. According to traditions of the northeastern people, Mishipeshu is the home of the underwater panther. These people are the Anishinaabe, the Odawa, the Ojibwe, and the Potawatomi. There are also stories of this creature in the traditions of the Innu people. According to the Algonquins, the underwater panther is the most powerful being of the underworld. According to the Ojibwe, it is the master of all water creatures. Because of this, and the malevolence that it bears toward humans, Mishipeshu stands as the archenemy of Animkig, or the great thunderbirds, which are the masters of the air. And so, the two forces are in eternal conflict with one another. However, in other traditions, the underwater panther was not as destructive towards humans, but needed to be placated, to ensure a balance of powers between it and the thunderbirds. There appears to be reasons to believe that the underwater panther comes from the older traditions of the Mississippian culture of the prehistoric southeastern part of North America. Like many other creatures from traditions around the world, from the past and up to current times, the underwater panther is a chimera of several different animals. It is generally considered to have the body of a feline, the horns of either a deer or bison, spikes along the back or a fin. Occasionally feathers are mentioned. The underwater panther is said to have a very long tail, similar in its movements to those of a serpent. The roar of the creature was believed to sound like a storm or rushing rapids. The Mishipeshu were believed to live in the deepest parts of lakes and rivers, where they created storms. Similar to the old stories of dragons hoarding and setting on troves of gold, the great Mishipeshu had a love for copper. It was even believed that the strands of hair or the scales of the creature were made of copper. These were then considered to be powerful medicine by the shamans who possessed them. Because of this connection with copper, the indigenous people of the Ojibwe made sure not to displease the Mishipeshu by taking too much of the metal at any one time, and to appease the being with offerings. It has been said that the Jesuit missionary, Claude Dablin, had recounted the story of 4 Ojibwe people who had embarked on a journey to the home of Mishipeshu to recover some copper, in order to make a vessel for heating water. However, the very second the 4 pushed off of the shore, after retrieving the copper, the voice of Mishipeshu surrounded them on all sides and accused them of stealing from him and his children. All 4 of the Ojibwe people died before reaching home, with the last one surviving just long enough to tell his tale. The creature known as Mishipeshu has a great deal in common with other creatures fitting into similar morphology, including dragons, Kirin, Quetzalcoatl, and others, which may indicate that there is a link between the origins of this entity and others such as the aforementioned Quetzalcoatl. Although much more serpent-like in design, the Kadija of the Caddo people holds a very similar station as to the of the underwater panther. However, the Kadija has been discussed as being similar to a cannibalistic Sasquatch, or as that of the two-face or sharp elbows of the Plains people, and depending on who you talk to in the various tribes. There is also a very interesting link between this creature and the infamous Ozark howler, even if only in overall appearance, with feline features and the attribute of horns, or as later depicted, antlers. Could there be some truth to the story of the Mishipeshu? We have found reasons to seek out Thunderbirds, Sasquatch, Moon-Eyed people, as well as countless others, so why draw the line there? Who knows, maybe somewhere in some deep dark lake, there is a powerful and ancient entity just biding his time or waiting to be recognized once again.